Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This video does not relate to any idol's personal life and all the incidents mentioned are truly fictional. Why? Why this only happens with me? What have I done? Why am I the one to always be punished? This is unfair. This is unbelievable. This is pathetic. Don't I deserve a little bit of happiness? First mom, dad. Now my love and unborn baby are fighting for their life. Please God, don't snatch them from me. Taehyung was crying sitting outside the operation theatre while hiding his face in his palms. His heart was threatening to stop any moment because his wife and baby were fighting for their life inside the operation theatre. He wiped his tears harshly and looked at Jim and Rosie, who were standing holding his legs and were crying loudly. Taehyung kissed their head and quickly embraced them. No, don't cry. Mama and baby both will be alright. He picked both and made them sit beside him on the bench. Taehyung was not able to console them much because he himself was broken when he saw his wife unconscious and covered in blood. His soul died when he saw that horrible and terrifying view. His hands and lips were quivering in fear at the thought of what will be happening inside the OT. He immediately stood up and ran to the doctor, who came out with lowered gaze. Taehyung's heart stopped seeing doctor's expression, and he didn't have the courage to ask what happened because he will not be able to handle any harsh news. I'm sorry, I tried my best, but we were not able to save your baby. He died in 𝑤𝑒𝑛's womb. Taehyung, disabled and Kai, immediately held him. Taehyung, please handle yourself. What condition you have made of yourself. And please, make your heart strong, cause there's definitely more worse things to come. Taehyung looked at him with blurred vision as his head was throbbing with pain due to continuous crying. What more worse can happen, Young? 𝑤𝑒𝑛 has only 10% chances to survive. The intensity with which she fell down the stairs, it had direct impact on her womb and internal organs. She have multiple injuries on head and other body parts. Please, Taehyung, you can't break down now. Your family need you the most. Please. He said, looking at Jim and Rosie, who were restlessly looking here and there and towards the room where some people took their mom inside. Taehyung placed his hand on the left side of his clothed chest and clenched it in fist because it was severe pain in his heart. Young, please, I beg you. I will give as much money as this operation needs, but please save her. I already lost so much, but not her. I'll do my best. With that, he again went inside the OT and operation started. Taehyung sat on the ground while holding his knees to his chest and buried his face there. His condition was that he will faint anytime, but he has to stay strong. He is not even in the condition to inform someone. Leave it alone, he is not even in his sense. Few hours passed and Dr. Kai came outside with a small smile. He saw Taehyung sitting on the floor with his back supported by a bench and his twins fall asleep on the bench while hugging each other. Kai crouched down to Taehyung's level and patted his shoulder. Taehyung. And Taehyung immediately stood up at once. Hyung, 𝑤𝑒𝑛, my 𝑤𝑒𝑛, how is she? She's safe, right? Hyung, you saved her? New tears dripped down his eyes before the previous ones can even dry. Yes, she's safe and resting. You can meet her after she wakes up. Thank you, Young. You're God for me. You saved my wife. I will be your doctor for the rest of my life. You have no idea what a big favor you have done on me. Taehyung, it was my duty. I gave my best to save 𝑤𝑒𝑛. After all, she's like a sister to me. There's one thing you need to know. Is it a bad news? Kai nodded and Taehyung's heart again dropped. What is it? Wine can't be pregnant again. Her fallopian tubes are destroyed. Taehyung fell on his knees while whimpering again, and Kai sadly left from there as he knew they need some alone time. They held his head while sobbing. How am I gonna face her? How am I supposed to tell her all these things? She had so many dreams with this baby. Everyone had so many dreams with this baby. Jim and Rosie. What will I answer when they will innocently ask for their baby brother? What will I tell mom? Jin Young, Young Young, and of all, what will I answer the mother of the dead baby? That she can't even be pregnant again? A nurse came out of the room and said that Wine will be conscious in few minutes, increasing Taehyung's heartbeat. He looked at Jim and Rosie and asked the nurse to sit beside them as they were sleeping right now. He then entered inside the room. With each step. His heart and head throbbed with pain as he saw his wife's condition. Many wires were connected to her body, so many band-aids were covering her head, and her lips became pale white. Taehyung approached and sat on a stool beside her while shedding tears. In a few minutes, he saw Wine's hand shaking. That means she was about to wake up. But without even opening her eyes, her hands first went to her stomach. She traced her hand there to feel her baby bump, and Taehyung knew what was about to come for him. Wine slowly opened her eyes, and the first question she asked was, Taehyung, our baby, is he fine? Taehyung gulped the lump down his throat and gave Wine a forceful smile. Wine, you just woke up. You need to rest. I will tell you afterwards. She tried to sit on the bed and Taehyung panicked. Baby, hon, what are you doing? You should rest, please. But she said, ignoring all his words. She looked here and there searching for a small newborn boy, but she could not spot any, and again looked down on his stomach, and there was no baby bump. That means the baby was already out. She again desperately asked, Taehyung, where is our newborn baby? He's fine, right? Give him to me. I'm his mother. I have the right to see him first. Taehyung tried to control his tears watching your condition. Wine, please calm down. Please rest on the bed. Rest. Damn it. Where is my baby, Taehyung? Fucking bring him to me. Taehyung lowered his head while crying himself. Okay, you won't tell anything. Neither bring my baby. Fine. I'll go by myself to my baby. She tried to detach the wire harshly, and Taehyung became red with fright. He immediately held Wine's hand and stopped her from doing so, but she was wiggling with no strength, and Taehyung shouted, being done with all these things, the baby is no more. He died. Wine's hand fell out of his grip as if her soul left her body. Tears slowly slipped down her face, and she aimlessly looked nowhere. Slowly, her cries became louder, and she held her hair while screaming loudly. No! No! Why? My baby! I'm done. Did you hear me? I'm done. I lost everything. I lost everything. She shouted and screamed her heart out that so many doctors and nurses came running to see what happened with the patient, and losing all your strength, you fell unconscious. Taehyung immediately kept hand on his mouth as his heart was threatening to come out with his pain. He was so drowned with pain, and he can't even get the estimation of your pain. Doctor gave you injection as a condition was burst. Your dried lips were quivering and continuously speaking, my baby, even in sleep. A woman who kept a baby in her womb for 9 months and got the heart attachment with the unborn baby, but in a blink of an eye, he is snatched from her. A piece of her heart is snatched from her. Some will say she still have 2 kids, but they can't fulfill his place. The baby had made different place in your heart, and now he was gone, leaving the place in your heart empty. Taehyung came out and saw Jim and Rosie were trying to come down the bench as they didn't spot their appa. The nurse beside them tried to help them, but they became scared from her as she was stranger and they were about to cry, but Taehyung came to them. He picked them up. Jim, Rosie, baby, you might be hungry, right? Let's go up, I will buy you some food. Mama, first you will eat and then we will meet Mama. Taehyung bought some bottled milk, made them drink, and brought them back to the hospital. They again and again were calling your name, so having no option, he took them inside as he thought your mind will be diverted a bit. He entered and saw you looking somewhere aimlessly while sitting on the bed. He left Jim and Rosie on the ground and they took their wiggling small steps to you while calling you out, but you didn't hear their voices as your body, soul, heart, brain, all were numb. Taehyung picked them and placed on the bed near you. They carefully stood beside you because they didn't want to hurt the baby, because that's what they were doing from the past 8 months, and now too they thought baby will be hurt if they throw their body on you. They gently touched your cheeks with their tiny palms and wiggled while standing straight. Taehyung supported them by holding their body from back. You finally looked beside and became overwhelmed and scared, seeing them as a fear came in your mind that someone will snatch them too. You immediately hugged them and kissed all over their face and they giggled being loved by you. You placed them in front of you and kept hugging them tightly, but they became alerted when you brought them in your front. Jim looked and searched the baby bump, but it was gone. You bit your lips on their innocent questions, and again sobs came out. The wet tears from all your eyes and rested on your cheeks. Taehyung took them from you and said heartlessly, cause he knew they will cry once, but they won't hurt you by again and again asking the same thing. Baby is gone. He went away. He went back to God. Jim and Rosie started crying loudly and their face turned red. And lastly, Taehyung had to bring them out because their cries were not stopping. All 4 of them were attached with the baby. All were grieving. 10 days passed by. 𝑤𝑒𝑛 came home from the hospital the same day of her miscarriage. The days became even more painful as Taehyung realized 𝑤𝑒𝑛 went into deep depression. She aimlessly used to sit on the window whole day and kept gazing the endless sky. It was her daily routine. Sometimes Taehyung even caught her crying while hurting herself. She blamed herself for what happened to her baby, and by mistake she heard that she can't be pregnant again. That added more salt on her fresh wounds. She did all the work of Jim and Rosie like she used to do before pregnancy, and it kind of diverted her mind for a while, but again, at the end of the day, she spent sleepless nights mourning for her unborn baby boy. Taehyung tried every possible way to make her forget all that, but his all attempts were a huge failure. And a new change Taehyung noticed in 𝑤𝑒𝑛 was she became so thin. Leave alone the post-pregnancy fat, she was even more thinner than she was before pregnancy. Taehyung became scared as how this kind of weight loss was possible, that too just in 10 days. 𝑤𝑒𝑛's depression was very scary for him. These 10 days was like living in hell. In between your mom's call, your brother's call, Jihope's call, many calls came today, and it hurted every time when they asked about the baby. He lied that everything was alright, as he had no way of telling them about all that happened. On the 10th day, he went to his office for an hour in the evening and was returning back while thinking how to bring 𝑤𝑒𝑛 out of her grievances, as till how long will she remain that way. He was on foot as his office was on walking distance from the home. He took turn to the alley when he heard low, in fact very low whimpering of baby coming from nearby. He ignored it and thought that it would be coming from any house, but still his instincts didn't let him go like that. He sighed and thought to confirm first, as it is about a small baby. He went in the direction from where the voice was coming, and his steps halted in front of a garbage bin. He frowned as why the voice of a baby was coming from there and thought that it might be a toy thrown by someone. Still, he opened the cap of the bin and turned on his torch to look inside, as it was night and nothing was visible clearly. He looked, and his eyes and mouth widened in shock and disappointment. He saw a baby. He immediately took out the baby and hissed while closing eyes, seeing the baby's condition. The baby seems 2 or 3 days old. His cries were not coming out like a normal newborn, and worst thing Taehyung noticed was he wasn't even cleaned after his birth. The skin was coming out and blood was almost everywhere on his body. It seemed like the baby was thrown away as soon as he was born. Taehyung's heart clenched as he looked at the baby's body properly. He was extremely thin and small in size. He was just an inch bigger than Taehyung's palm. Dirt was sticking on his head and other body parts. Taehyung very gently rubbed the dirt off and then wrapped his coat around the baby. There are some people who cannot become parents, and there are some to whom God has given a child but does not value it. How can a mother be so heartless? One side my wine is there, who is dying because of the pain of losing her baby, and one side is this baby's cruel mother who left him for dying. Whatever. First I need to go home and then I will take this baby to hospital as I don't have a car right now. And who knows, maybe Wine's sadness go away seeing this baby. He entered the house and as usual find Jim and Rosie playing alone. They are 1.5 months mere kids, so they easily forget about the unborn baby in few days, and right now they are playing happily, and besides them is sitting Ryan, gloomily staring at front while sitting on floor while the babies are showing her their toys time to time. And as usual, she didn't mind what was happening beside her, whether it was Jim and Rosie stepping on her, playing with her hair, or Taehyung entering in the house. She didn't give attention to anything. Taehyung slowly came near her and she still didn't give heed to him. He crouched next to her and slowly placed the baby on her lap. She slowly looked down when she felt a slight weight on her, and her heart welled up as she whispered, "Oh baby." She slowly traced her hands gently on baby's skin, and tears brimmed in her eyes. She analyzed his fragile figure, which was so small, and then her eyes noticed all those wounds and blood and dirt on his body. She anxiously looked up and saw Taehyung beside her. "The baby is injured. Whose baby is he?" "Why, and I saw him in the garbage bin in our alley. I don't know how come someone be so cruel to leave a small baby like that." Jim and Rosie also came when they saw something on your lap. They both happily sat beside you and cutely analyzed the baby without touching it, cause they were afraid that he will cry, cause when you were pregnant, all 4 of you, they, Jim and Rosie, used to watch baby videos, and there they saw this. So now they are watching the baby from far. Taehyung smiled, seeing that this baby really caught his wife and Twinnie's attention. She snapped you and you looked at the baby, and that's when you noticed that he was crying, but his crying was not coming out. It was not audible at all. This panicked both Wine and Taehyung. "Wine, let's take him to hospital first." He helped you in standing up as baby was in your arms and you are very weak yourself. "Jim, Rosie, come up, I will make you sit in the car first, and when you wait here, I will come help you to go out." He can't leave the Twinnies in the hands of maid, so they are going along with them to hospital. Right now, Wine and Taehyung are sitting in front of Dr. Kai. Taehyung told everything to him, that how, where and in what condition he found the baby. You teared up listening him as your heart clenched for the pain that unborn baby was feeling. Dr. Kai did the full checkup of the baby and also treated his wounds and injury. He again came to you and said, "Don't worry about him, I cleaned his whole body. I'll make a call in the orphanage. They will take him. They take good care of Ryan. I have to attend other patients. I'll leave now. See you both later. Your heartbeat raced suddenly and goosebumps covered all over her body, hearing the word orphanage. So you immediately said, before Kai can walk out, he's my baby. I am his mother. He's our baby. Please don't send him to orphanage. I want him. He also need me. Please. You also saw how he was comfortable with me. Please. Kai again came and sat in front of you. Wine, you can't adopt him. Why, Young? I also want this baby, cause I don't think this child can survive long. Your heart sank and tears dripped down from your eyes as you started crying while holding your mouth. Those words were really painful for you. Young. Yes, Taehyung, I did his whole body checkup. You can't adopt him. He has low chances to survive. That baby has 2 big holes in his heart. He might have born premature. His body movement is not like normal kids. He's really slow, and his voice is also not audible at all. It will be really difficult for you both to handle his petal-like fragile body. I will do everything, Doc. Please, I beg you. I'll take extra care of him. Please give this baby to me. Really, Ryan? You are saying this? Have you seen your own condition? 10 days ago you had miscarriage, but your weight loss in just 10 days is giving me proof how you will handle this baby. Why you both are not understanding me, huh? He stopped talking and his eyes widened in shock when you got on your knees and begged him while holding your both hands. Please, Doc. I want to be his mother. I saw my dead child in him. My dead baby came back to me in his form. Wine, no, please. Don't do this. Please. You're like my sister. That's why I was concerned about you. Wine, please don't beg like this. I'm sorry. If you see your life in that child, then I'll help you. Taehyung held your shoulder and again made you sit on a chair. Dog, can I breastfeed him? My memory glands are still active. But get your body checked first. Wine, remember, when your body is nourished, then only you can nourish him. So from now, take great care of yourself. Thank you, Young. But you need a lot of instructions and precautions for him, as he's a special child. He is not normal. I'm again reminding you guys. So work accordingly. Never let him catch cold, cause he will have difficulty in breathing as his heart has holes. Can't he be cured? There are chances. Sometimes heart get healed with time, other time one need operation. But he is so weak. It is not possible for him. And one more thing I want to tell you guys. This child will not have normal growth. He will always be 2 to 3 years smaller than the children of his age group, both mentally and physically. Wine closed her eyes as there is nothing worse left for her to hear for her child. She internally cursed God for the first time in her life for doing all the worst thing to that little, small, frail baby who just came in this world. He did not do anything wrong to anyone. Then why he was given so brutal life just after his birth? A nurse took you with her and taught you how to feed the baby. You saw how he struggled with that small tiny mouth to take in the milk. Then the nurse told you that he will not be able to digest the milk at once, so you have to feed him milk in every 1 or 2 hours. She gave you all necessary instructions which are usually given to every mother, and then she told you some extra ones that what not to do with him. She strictly prohibited you to eat sweets and oily things as eventually it will go inside him, which is not good. She told you to never make him cry cause his breathing will be heavy and that could be really dangerous. Try to keep your baby away from crowded places as much as you can and make sure everyone who comes into contact with your baby washes their hands first. Ask people who are ill to put off their visit until they are well, because premature babies have a higher risk of getting a serious illness called RSV infection. You drank all the precautions like a holy prayer to remember these things for your child's survival. And last but not least, She told you to always make him wear warm clothes even if it's hot summer, cause his body can't bear even 1% of cold, not even natural air. You all came back home and now there is a small smile on your face watching him sleep so peacefully in your arms. Taehyung placed his arm around you and you rested your head on his shoulder while they picked the twin birdies and you both kissed their cheeks as they engulfed them tightly in a hug. You finally smiled after so many days as this baby returned your lost happiness. But there were definitely more struggles to come to make this baby survive. This video ends here. Thank you guys for watching the video till the end, and please comment in the comment box because that really appreciate me to write more good stories. And yeah, thanks for watching.